Hi, everybody. We're the Infamy Fantasy Esports team. We host fantasy esports tournaments at our website, infamy.gg. Check it out and sign up and enter a tournament. But today we're going to be talking about Epic versus Apple and Google. So what happened was last week on August 13th, Epic filed a lawsuit against Apple and Google due to them being kicked off both of the respective stores for not abiding by the rules and regulations. The rules that they broke was Epic created a backdoor into their own Epic store, saving users 20%, as opposed to paying 30% additional when you do a transaction through Apple or Google. So, with that being said, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Obviously, it's super polarizing, being three tech giants in the industry going at it. But what do you guys think? I have my own personal opinions.
I mean, I find it interesting, kind of like what Jake was saying before we started recording, that they're doing it like they're trying to be like the people or the developers champion by, because their lawsuits explicitly says they're not looking like money for all the losses that they've gotten for having to pay Apple and Google 30% of all their transactions. But they're like, they want them to systematically change their system so you're not beholden to the Apple Store or the Google Play Store to get on an iPhone. More specifically, iPhone, because Android has other ways to get apps. But they're like, yeah, stop holding a monopoly on getting an app on the App Store, and give creators ways to upload their stuff without having to pay you 30% of their profits, is because that's especially harmful to like smaller companies. And this is a fight that's been started earlier before, but now this is like a high profile company like Epic trying to take them to the mattresses here. So.
It's like Epic's one of the few companies that's like has the financial stability and backing to be like, hey, to like kind of like fuck off
get
to
into a slog of a lawsuit.
Apple. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna make this baller play. Just like, no, I'm setting up this lawsuit. I got all my stuff pre-planned. I know this is gonna happen. I'm like, basically typing into typing into like match chat, like ban me, or like you won't, or and like, oh, they banned me. Oh, here's the lawsuit.
And I Epic gets a lot of shit, and I think Epic is a great company, and they're doing the right thing here. They know they're a tech giant, and they have this crazy amount of respect and authority in the community, and they're using their power to try and help smaller companies. People shit on Epic, but I think they're just great. Like who
I don't know
else?
if Tim Sweeney should have that much money though. I watched a video of him like with his climbing tree in his mansion. Yeah. He's like, look at all my stuff.
Tim Sweeney's ungodly amount of money aside, this is what people talk about, like the big man stepping up for the little guy, which is the smaller businesses. And this doesn't really happen much.
But it's not all altruistic. They want to stop having to pay 30% of their billions of dollars that they're getting on these
they have the
sales.
most. At the same time, they have the most to gain out of this. And I am willing to bet like Activision and some other of these bigger gaming companies are gonna like hop in or like file their own suits that have like Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG Mobile, whatever games they have on these iOS platforms and Android platforms. They're like, hey, there's money to be made here. I'm jumping in.
Yeah, it may not be
30% on the table. Are you kidding me?
But it may not be altruistic.
Comes out.
It may not be.
There's a whole bunch of companies that are going to be like, all right, yeah, we do think this is a monopoly, and we do want our 30%, and then we're going to give 20% off discount, so we're going to fucking pocket 10% on this also. It's not all altruistic.
I mean, yeah, it's not all altruistic, but at the end of the day, you being a user, which is one of my major gripes with the comments I've seen about this, is that people are complaining about, oh, Epic this, Epic that. Like, at the end of the day, if you're not supporting Epic because they didn't take out an item from Fortnite, I'm sorry, but you're an idiot.
You're just so short and narrow-sighted. Yeah.
This is going to save you money on all the skins you buy. So imagine you spend exorbitant amount of money on skins. I know Fortnite players buy skins like they're candy. 20% of that is going back to your pocket. That, like, even though Epic is getting the 10%, like Blake said, that's still 20% saved by every user.
That's a temporary sale. This is a publicity stunt. They were like, we'll get publicity from getting off of Apple, and two, we'll get a quick sale going, so V-Bucks sales go through the roof. It'll make up for the 10% loss that we're getting the 20% gain anyway. But I think I do think they are one of the few companies that are in a position to pressure Apple and Google, because I'm sure a exorbitant amount of money come from the 30% off of V-Bucks. So like you have to pay attention and maybe come to the bargaining table. I do wonder how much they tried to negotiate before this all went down, or they were just like, let's just bamboozle them for a quick press push, you know.
I feel like it was like kind of a strategic bamboozlement on Epic's end. They just like came out of left field. They implemented the Epic store. They like had a tweet out like, "Oh, you can buy 20% off on V-Bucks if you do it through the Epic store."
They were chumming the waters
application.
way before.
Yeah,
They knew exactly what they were
set
doing this
all up.
whole
And
time.
then like right after that, they were kicked off like 2 hours later. Kicked off the Apple and Google Play store, and then an hour later after that, it's all right, lawsuit. And then an hour after that, all right, we have a video that we're gonna run on stream for 2 days.
The video is really funny because it's like it was like this big breakthrough commercial that Apple released when they first like released home computers, because IBM had like total dominance on the computer market, and they referenced them to the book 1984, where they're just like this overseeing force, and it's like we're gonna break through and change computing make it for everyone, and like now Fortnite Epic's being like now they've become what they said they would fight. And we'll have to do it. A small company, Epic.
Yeah. See, the problem is that kids that play Fortnite don't read books. Completely over their heads. The whole thing completely over their heads.
Yeah. If you play any video game that has cosmetics or like some kind of item shop that you can buy things for, you want Epic to win this lawsuit so that way you can save money on whatever you want to buy.
For now.
For now, for now.
Also, if you own an iPhone, like Android, they can probably get around it, because there are other ways of getting apps on your phone on Android.
Yeah.
It just happens to be the Google Play Store, which isn't your only option. So like Apple's the main focus here, and you're gonna see this is not going to be a quick resolution. There's going to be years in the making, this lawsuit, because you're going to see a lot of companies, like we were saying before, like Activision or other large companies that are going to come to the table, and then smaller companies, and you're going to see a class action antitrust lawsuit, and then it's going to go to Supreme Court, then it's going to have the Senate tied into it, where they're going to have another antitrust hearing specifically with Apple, because they just had one last week and nothing really came of it, because there's no public pitchforks up, right? So like now it's very interesting to see Fortnite position themselves and using their huge media presence to push their audience to like get them to raise pitchforks so they can win that battle later in the years.
Yeah,
it's really crazy posturing by them.
It is, and like going back to it all being calculated, the 1984 event, we can call it that they were streaming. 1980 Fortnite. It looped 1,984 times, and it like played concurrently for 2 days to 7,000 viewers. Like I don't even know.
They need to go next.
I mean, are you surprised there are people who are just watching it? How many? What were the numbers again for the black hole event? These kids just staring at a screensaver for hours and hours. Like, oh, I can't miss it. Oh man, they got them sucked. They got them hooked.
They were like counting. There was like Morse code or something in the hole, and like people were like, "Oh, it's Morse code!" Like trying to figure it out, like crazy. But
no,
kudos to Epic for.
I need my Ghost of Steve Jobs skin immediately.
Ghost of Steve Jobs skin.
I'm waiting for the representative from Hawaii, who's like the main driving force between the loot boxes and gambling kind of lawsuits, and that got brought to court. Like him now citing, probably backing Epic and all these other companies against.
You think a lot of them would decide to go with Epic because they love grilling those huge companies, those monopolies, but I don't know if they're it's not like Epic's a small company either,
yeah, they're not this indie developer.
Yeah, small indie.
That's
Wait,
Blizzard.
Conspiracy theory that just came to me. Do you think the Supreme Court was like, yo, Epic?
No.
Apple says they don't have an antitrust.
They were fucking brain dead. They were like, they're still asking how the App Store works on during the hearing. I was like, how are you not prepared for this? Like, you're not even asking pertinent questions. It was ridiculous. And then they let all of them be in the room. Fucking Tim Cook was there. Fucking Bezos wasn't there, which was annoying. But
Zuck?
the Zuck was there. He was on the panel. And they're like a fucking stone wall of like all the everything that's wrong with the world right now.
It's like
And then on the other side of
older
the
people
wall is
not
the
understanding
drawback.
newer concepts and technology, and it's just
It's almost like dinosaurs should not be running the country.
Yeah,
and
it's
if
such a
your
technological boom.
most familiar
Yeah.
communication device is like a typewriter, I don't know. You gotta maybe change.
AOC is like running a how to use Twitter class in Congress. But it was interesting that originally with the App Store, Steve Jobs said that this was not really meant to, like, they weren't even sure they were going to make money on it. It was just supposed to be like a little side thing to add. Like, they're all about more innovative technology, and this was like a little thing on the side. But now that iPhone sales are kind of going down, they want to. This is obviously their breadwinner now, so they're going to fight tooth and nail to keep it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They've been leveraging themselves to do more service end for the last year and a half, and a lot of their stock price and like their basically their like COVID resistance too is based on them being able to take that 30% cut from their entire app store, and then like investors look at that like crazy install base and they're like, yeah, we can probably guarantee a certain amount of money per year off of this. So like if this starts to swing in Epic's favor, which I honestly doubt there's going to be any kind of resolution on this.
You think they're just gonna throw it out?
Stock price quickly.
Do you think
They'll
they're just
probably
gonna
teeter
throw out the
Not that they're going to throw it out. It's going to sit in arbitration for years, and people are going to stop caring about it, and then Epic's going to give up.
Yeah.
You know, because
They got a
what
good
this
PR
really
push.
was a media stunt. Because like what's going to happen? They're gonna retract their Epic Store thing, and they're gonna go back on Apple, because Apple wants that fucking 30%, man, of Fortnite on mobile. It's a huge part of their business as well, and they can only take the hit for not having it on mobile for a certain amount of time for it to be worth it.
What do you guys
Yeah.
think about Apple's like defense? Like, they had a few points where they're like, we actually only make up 13% of smartphones, so it's like, why are you coming for us? Like, we're not monopolizing smartphones, we're only monopolizing 13% of smartphones.
Yeah, globally.
It's but like
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
globally, that's
you're
not
still
correct.
using the word monopoly, which is illegal.
In America.
I used the word monopoly, they did not.
But this is the whole thing. We're talking about America right now. So like iPhone does not make up 13.
Yeah, no, so basically what I was saying is if they want to like use the security as their excuse for why they have this 30%, they should offer these companies a way. It's like, all right, if you want to not pay that 30%, then if anything happens on your application to your users, you're responsible for that. And if it happens enough times, you're not on our store anymore. That's simple.
That sounds very reasonable. But then again, too, like I'm also like, what security features are they offering? Like other than like
It's
payment
mostly like
information security.
payment information.
And even then, not really though, because you have to put it into these clients, and then
Yeah, and
Apple
wasn't
takes-
iCloud hacked numerous times in the past couple of years? So
it's not like it's fucking an ironclad fortress where it was like never been touched before. Like it's like they're doing the same. It's all just a scam.
yeah.
I think it's to avoid malware as well as their main point, because they want their brand to be like, get an Apple and you won't get viruses
you won't
ever,
deal with
and
this
they
shit.
can only keep that promise if they have full control.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
So
mean,
it does
like,
protect both ends.
I mean, too, like the Apple Store green lighting is not that difficult either. It really
So what do
just comes down to the payment processing and paying that 30%.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about how this affects like esports content creators, like mobile players? Like, I saw someone was like really happy that like it happened right before the FNCS. It's like, maybe have a chance at the mobile cup this week.
Oh yeah, a whole bunch of kids were, because like what's going on right now in Fortnite is everyone who used to play controller on PC is now playing controller on iPad, so that they can get the FNCS money by shitting on kids who are playing on their toilet next to their mom. Yeah,
I feel no pity for them.
80 grand first
Oh,
place, by the way,
when we weep
for winning
yes.
for winning
Oh, gosh,
FNCS
no.
mobile. But yeah, they were all like freaking out because they like all these kids like bought these iPads, and like I saw someone tweeted they were like, "Oh man, I bet everyone who bought an iPad last week's feeling real dumb."
Wasn't it more that they're only they didn't even participate in the PC one, so now they were only qualified for mobile, and
Yeah,
now
and
they're not can't even do that.
Yeah, and like so they were able to play this FNCS, but Epic released a statement saying that yeah, if you have Fortnite already installed on your device, you're good because they're not going to do any more season
But you
updates
can't
for the rest of the
update.
season. But next season, you're not anyone who has a mobile device. That's when it's really going to start to affect people because right now there isn't that much noise about it because everyone can continue to play Fortnite on their phone,
Well,
iPad, whatever. But once the update comes and they can't play it anymore, that is when it's going to just explode.
They don't get that notification. Oh, Fortnite is updating. They don't get that little, kick of adrenaline. It's like, oh, I don't know.
Guess you can play Save the World.
I mean,
Yeah,
again, these controller players. Oh, boo-hoo.
These controller players just
Are they controller players, or are they just doing this?
No, you can
just
literally
connect
plug
it?
it.
Yeah.
There's like
Wow.
some
Mhm.
kind of software
Bluetooth.
that you can connect your controller to iPads now. Dude, why are controller players always trying to cheat? I'm sorry, but like, come on, guys.
Enough is enough.
Come on, guys.
The
Come on,
console
guys.
competition was getting
It's
too
like,
stiff, so they had to go against
first you
kids.
switch to PC because aim assist is broken. Now you're switching to mobile because kids are using just 2 thumbs. Come on, not fair. But that's besides the point. I think it's gonna be in the next coming weeks is when we're really gonna see it all unfold.
Mhm.
So where do you guys think this will end up?
I can see it either going like the way Blake said, where it just like teeters out, but like Epic has so much money that they are quite literally one of the only companies that can like muscle Apple into like following through with this lawsuit because Apple's probably going to try and drag it out with like legal fees, but Epic has that's just unlimited money, pretty
Do
much.
you think it's worth it for them in the long run? Like, I think it's worth it because of this, like the way they handled it, like and presented it with this like, PR push. But are the profits going to be worth the long legal slog that this is going to be?
I think so.
It depends. Yeah, yeah. And in
That they're likely not going to win. Like,
in the long run, the profits be worth it. But I would like to think that Epic is doing this more for gaming in general as opposed to just for money because they have so much money already. You can always say
I'm
it's
gonna disagree with that statement.
It's
but...
never. You don't think that they're
No.
they're like because like if you think about all the notoriety you'll get, that's another selfish.
Yeah,
reason,
but that
like,
doesn't matter
as
to the stockholders of Epic and their parent companies. It's like, how are we gonna make the most money? And I'm sure they have plans down the road where it involves more transactions on mobile. So they're probably thinking, they're like, all right, I'm not gonna stop and pick up this dollar on my way to the bank to get more like.
But the way they're probably seeing it is like, oh, V-Bucks are cheaper. Instead of being $10, they're $8 for 1,000. More people will buy them.
Yeah, right now. But how long? These kids have they're not gonna keep up with it. They're not gonna keep up with the updates on the lawsuit. It's like as soon as it falls out of their kind of realm, like their small little world, they'll forget about it. And then you could also just see Epic slowly raising the prices back up, like a frog in boiling water. You won't.
I don't
notice.
think you're gonna see these huge discounts even if they win. I think it's like, hey, we won. Maybe they'll celebrate for like a week to a month, and then it'll just go back to standard, and they'll rake
But
in
at the same
full
time, I could see them. A play that Epic could do is just create skins based around just making jabs at Apple. Just content like the commercial mock.
Is that Apple skin? Is the Apple Dictator a?
No, it's not.
skin?
It's not in the game, but I can see them.
It's
doing
going
it.
to be. That's gotta be.
That's definitely what they're coming for. But
yeah, they should also just get rid of the factory and just make it like a Xinjiang Apple factory. They have sweatshops. Yeah, they have.
To touch on the content creators, Epic did release a statement where they said they weren't touching their supporter creator code. So a lot of content creators are excited about that because the V-Bucks prices are going down, and they get to take the same. I believe it's 10% of whatever you spend on V-Bucks goes to them still, so they get the same money, and more people will be spending on V-Bucks. So content creators are happy.
Yeah.
But
Okay. So back to Steve's ad. Is it worth
Worth it to them to do this.
My
you
answer
can't
is yes.
even.
Their
I-
mobile market is worth $1 billion a year. $1 billion a year. What is 30% of $1 billion? And tell me that you
I
don't
think
want
it's
to
300 million.
Yeah, 10% of that. It's $100 million is on the table. So like that's what their runway is on this lawsuit. $100
Yeah.
million.
That's just one
that's
year.
a good point.
That's just
Like
1 year.
all everyone who's complaining about, oh, I miss the old prize pools. Yeah, you better hope Epic wins $100 million.
Yeah.
World Cup,
Straight
$100 million World Cup 2021. Let's go.
Yeah, let's fucking all out, boys. We did it. So that's why these pros should be supporting Fortnite because they want nice prize pools. Let them win. Let them win. It's just more money in the war chest for Epic.
Yeah, and back to what I said, like think about all that money that Apple and Google are now losing not having Fortnite on, so maybe they will be more willing to concede something than just to
Yeah.
lose the whole 30% and like totally.
Yeah, realistically, there's going to be a backdoor deal at some point when it starts to fizzle out, and maybe they'll pay 20 or 15%.
Yeah,
I
I
think
can
that's most
see. I can
realistic.
see Apple countering back and being like, "Well, we instead of a flat 30%, we will negotiate with you depending on your company stance and like how long you've been a loyal Apple Store application, and maybe we can get you 15. We can get you 15."
That's gonna be how they break up the class action lawsuits of the smaller companies coming together. They're gonna take them out individually, talk to them, hey, we're gonna give you this offer if you just like cut ties with the rest of them. Fuck them, you're on
They're
your
gonna
own.
call
Yeah,
their
exactly.
boys
That's
like, how much did you get?
How much
15? I
did
only
you
got
get?
10.
yeah, exactly. That's for the smaller players. For the bigger ones, they'll do something else. But yeah.
Well, what they're gonna do too is they're gonna put them on the front page of the fucking App Store. That's gonna be another thing. You're gonna see them like mark my words. In a year, you're gonna this is gonna fizzle out. They're gonna drop the fucking App Store, and Fortnite is gonna have a permanent fucking front page fucking App Store page. Like it's gonna be there forever. That's gonna be part of the concession, and they're gonna get their user acquisition is gonna go through the fucking roof, and they're gonna keep
They
that
can't
little
do
bit
it
of sale.
permanently. They can't just be like, all right, this is the Fortnite game store.
Fortnite and
There's
other
like a
games.
Like
yes.
it's gonna be one of the fucking editor's choice forever, and it's gonna be up at the top forever. It's
Greatest
like-
game
like,
of all time by
I
Apple.
guarantee you that because they do have a monopoly on their fucking products, and they can do stuff like that where you make it worth their while. You don't have to give them that percentage cut. So maybe they cut it down 10%, and then they give them that, and then this all goes away.
All right.
Okay. That's
That's
we'll see in a year.
Yeah, we'll be back in a year, and or maybe a couple weeks when everyone starts losing their shit once they can't download season 4 of Fortnite. But with that being said, we're the Infamy Fantasy Esports team. We host fantasy esports tournaments at our website, infamy.gg. So head over there, sign up, enter a tournament, win, maybe lose, but hopefully you'll win, and we'll catch you in the next video.